Spring training has concluded for our Colorado Rockies, and you guys had a lot to say on who you thought should make the 26-man roster. In fact, a lot of you were saying Jordan Beck should be the guy that makes it as the fourth outfielder, and he did. Hunter Goodman also is the backup catcher, as Drew Romo ended up losing that battle, so he's going to get called down to the minor league system. Pitching rotation, this is how it's going to look here for our regular season. Nothing really changing as far as the rotation is concerned. Feltner, German Marquez, Gomber, all the names in which you guys are familiar with. Chase Dollander did get moved down to the minor leagues to start his 2025 regular season. So we are actually going to be considering a move here for Jose Quintana. And Quintana has always been one of those guys that has been able to induce the ground ball. He's not going to strike out a bunch of guys, but he has a lot of control. He's able to work the strike zone, pitch where he wants to pitch, miss barrels, miss bats. He's just a good pitcher. He's a solid pitcher. He's been that way his entire career. I think he fits perfectly for what the Rockies, at least our Rockies, are going to be trying to do here for this team, for this franchise moving forward. We want pitchers that are going to have heavy strikeout stuff, and guys that if you're not going to be a strikeout pitcher, I want you to be dudes that induce ground balls primarily. That's what I want from you. So Quintana kind of fits the bill. Plus, if he pitches really well, we can move on from him at the trade deadline to somebody that needs a left-handed starter of the caliber of Jose Quintana. Now, for those of you guys that know me, that have been following my series for a long time, you know that I like to get involved in every little nitty-gritty detail of a franchise series. And this is one of them, training. I actually like to do the training for my players because I don't like the fact that maybe Nolan Jones, they say that he needs to work in the weight room. Maybe I think he needs to work in his contact, just like Thairo Estrada. Maybe you need to go into the batting cages instead of what they had him autoed to train on, right? Fielding drills for Jacob Stallings. He's a little bit older, so it seems like diminishing returns at this point, but you guys get what I'm saying here. I want to be in control of what players are progressing or even regressing in some sense. All right, so as we get ready for opening day, we will be taking on the Tampa Bay Rays, and we'll face off against Shane McClanahan, who unfortunately had to leave spring training action today with tricep tightness, I think it was. Yeah, tricep tightness. So he's going to be out for a couple weeks, maybe, potentially. We'll see. But at least in MLB The Show, at least in this franchise series, we get to see a good pitcher pitch, and we get to have a little bit of a challenge here on our opening day. Now, for the Rays, we know that they're not going to be able to play in Tropicana Field this season with all the hurricane stuff that went on last year. And I was looking for George Steinbrenner Field, the minor league stadium for the Yankees, and I couldn't find it. Somebody in the community, in the show community, actually created the stadium, was showing kind of a preview of it. It was there to download, but for whatever reason, the stadium creator was a little bit glitchy, and I ultimately decided, well, I can't wait. Like, I got to get this gameplay in for you guys. I got to get opening day moving here for this series. So I decided that you guys are in this together with me. I decided that we're going to go with Show City, which is one of the default stadiums in Stadium Creator. And I just thought it felt kind of like very Tampa Bay-esque, if you will. I mean, there's palm trees out there in places, so it kind of makes sense. It seems like a very minor league-y feel, but it has some professional stadium elements to it. Let's get into gameplay action here. Brenton Doyle striking out, high fastball, and Ryan McMahon going to offer it a high fastball too. So that's 2 straight outs for McClanahan, shooting for that high fastball. So it seems like, at least in the early going, we'll have to see how McClanahan attacks the rest of our hitters, but it seems like the first 3 guys here, he wants to attack with high fastballs. So something to note in the back of our mind here as we move forward into opening day action. Tovar's going to swing on through a high and inside fastball. Go figure that, right? So it's something that we're going to have to bookmark, put in our back pocket for later. German Marquez. Talked about him in spring training. Only pitched 4 innings last season. He's looking to have a bounce-back type of season. First batter faced is Josh Lowe. Little ground ball by Lowe to Thairo Estrada, making a nice play in the hole. Lineup for the Rays. Hassan Kim batting second. Yandy Diaz at the 3-hole. Brandon Lau, Morel, Caminero. It's a decent lineup. It's not the most amazing thing that you'll ever see in the world. So I think Marquez is actually going to pitch fairly well against these Tampa Bay Rays. In fact, I like this matchup just because of, they're kind of on par with us right now. Stolen base attempt here by Kim. He's going to get in there with a, oh no, woof. I surprised myself. Whoa. Jacob Stallings, where did that come from? The arm. I thought he was safe. I thought Kim was in there. To be honest with you guys, I didn't remember what happened. All right. 0-1 pitch here to Yandy Diaz. That is a line drive. Could be over Hilliard's head, but he took the perfect route. I would have loved to get the Google StatCasts on that route taken by Sam Hilliard, because that was perfection right there. If you saw the route efficiency, it'd probably be 100% for Sam Hilliard. All right, let's go here to the bottom of the second. Tolia to Tovar, back to Tolia. That is a double play ball. Christopher Morel grounding out 3-6-3 here on opening day. Again, ground ball pitchers, right? That's what we want. At least on the road, it doesn't really matter too much. In Coors Field, we want as many ground balls and strikeouts that we can get. However, Junior Caminero, base hit all the way to the wall. Doyle, look at the gun. I mean, my God. He threw that thing from the warning track back into the infield dirt. Don't test him. Don't test him on 3. So a double, a 2-out double for Caminero is going to bring up Aranda. He's going to take strike 1 here. Four-seamer hitting the high outside part of the zone. Looks like we're going to try to go right back up there and sneak a second strike, but Aranda's ready for it. That's a deep drive to center. Here's Doyle trying to make a play at the wall. He leaps. He makes the catch. What a play by Brenton Doyle to rob a potential 2-run home run from Jonathan Aranda. And you know what? I think if we were playing at Tropicana Field, that would have been a home run. Honestly, like, it was going to go over. That's crazy. Great play by Brenton Doyle. And then Sam Hilliard with the perfect deep drive to left. That baby's gone. 109 on the exit velo. We know that Sam Hilliard, that's why he's in the lineup. Like, normally you don't like lefty-lefty, but Sam Hilliard hits well. He's got some power against left-handed pitchers. I think it was 70 power, I think's the number. So he's no joke against those guys. So we take the lead 1-0. Nolan Jones trying to make a diving play, trying to get his Brenton Doyle on. Doyle's like, don't worry, bro, I got this. Throwing out Danny Jansen. Like, there's a lot of problems there on that play. Like, number one, Danny Jansen, you're a catcher. Know your role, sir. Why are you going for 2 there? And then Doyle's just like, yeah, this is easy. I'm just playing catch at second base. So Doyle's gotten 2 great defensive plays on opening day. It's just amazing. Ground ball here to Tovar. He makes the play. And I wonder if that 71 arm is not really anything to really worry about. Throwing out Johnny DeLuca with some ease. I think maybe that 71 arm will play at shortstop. McMahon also makes a nice play. Let's go to the top of the 4th inning. Tovar swings through a fastball. Another high one by McClanahan. Again, he loves to go there with our top 3 hitters. Michael Tolia, what about you? Uh-oh. That's a mistake. McClanahan gives it up. Another solo shot. Michael Tolia didn't miss. 450. Let's go. Another solo home run. The Rockies' power on full display here in Show City. McClanahan's getting rocked. Potentially. It's still 2-0. Like, anything can happen here. Mainly because Hassan Kim's got power too. Deep drive to left center field here in the bottom of the 4th. That's a surefire double by Kim. We'll see if Yandy Diaz can come up and make German Marquez pay. And in fact, he'll do just that. Hilliard, a little risky to dive for that. Would have been a double for Yandy. Maybe a triple. Maybe. He's still kind of slow. But Tampa Bay does respond. They do get an RBI single from Diaz. And it's 2-1 Rockies. 2-2 pitch here, ground ball up the middle. Brandon Lau with a base hits. He can keep on moving. Station to station. 54 pitches for Marquez up to this point with nobody out. So we will call a mound visit just to kind of settle him down here a little bit. Nolan Jones, the adventure out there in left field, makes the play. First out of the inning. That was a big batter to get. Next batter up is Junior Caminero. 3-2 pitch, and he got him. High and inside fastball. That is a risky pitch. We know Caminero's got some pop. And then here's Jonathan Aranda. The guy came through right with a line drive to center field. However, he's going to ground out here. Tovar makes the nice play, and that is the end of the 4th inning. We are out of the jam. Here's another high fastball by McClanahan to Jacob Stallings. Jacob Stallings. Solo home run. Opposite field. What is happening here? Rockies bringing out the power stroke today. What is that? 357 and 94 on the exit velo. And just how close was Josh Lowe to making this catch? Not really. Not really. I think you had to do it. Like, if you were him, you would probably do it. But no luck. No luck for Josh Lowe. Well, that's a walk to Josh Lowe. Here in the bottom of the fifth. Marquez in a little bit of a jam. Ha-Seong Kim takes ball number 3. Does not offer at the curveball. Yandy Diaz has hit the ball hard off of Marquez. One was a line out to Hilliard. The other was a base hit to Hilliard. Now we're going to walk Kim. It was not intentional. But now it's going to bring up Yandy Diaz. 1 for 2. RBI single there in the 4th. 1-1 pitch here to Diaz. That's a hot shot to Tolia. Should have dove. Should have dove. I think we would have had Kim on the double play. But either way, his base is loaded with 2 outs. That'll bring up Brandon Lau. We'll see what Marquez is going to be able to do against him. We've got the lefty-righty matchup. They do get the sinker with the foul ball. 1-2 pitch here, and he got him. Another high fastball. Marquez now has 2 strikeouts on the high fastball. 1 to Caminero and the other to Brandon Lau now. Here's Garrett Clevenger, left-hander, pitching to Michael Tolia, and it's like they didn't learn their lesson. Right down the middle, a sweeper. Tolia took McClanahan deep off a curveball that was right down the middle. Clevenger gives him a sweeper that was right down the middle. Another solo home run for the Rocks, and it's 4-1. Striking out Caminero there again on a high fastball. It seems like that is the way to attack Junior Caminero. That's the 3rd strikeout for Marquez, and that's actually going to do it for his outing today. He did not get the quality start. Kind of running a little bit low on the stamina. So we're trying to balance the fact that he pitched well, 5 2/3, still qualifies for the win, but we don't want us to lose the game. Like, we need as many wins as we can possibly get here. So let's start working in our relievers, right? Let's not push the luck. Don't push the envelope. Tolia makes a nice play at first. Alexander got the ground ball that he wanted, and we're out of the 7th. Let's now go to the bottom of the 8th. We're actually going to call on Seth Halverson, because I love to see this guy in action with all of the velo. And look at, again, the defense. Nolan Jones, he's like, whoa, I made the play. I can't believe it. He's such an adventure out there in left field, man. I tell you what, he's like got DH written all over him eventually. It's crazy. He's got a great arm, but his glove is a little suspect, I think, at least in this game. Halverson loves it, though. 0-2 pitcher to Brandon Lau. Again, another high fastball. Again, if we play the Rays again in gameplay, that is how we're going to be attacking them, with high fastballs. Halverson able to hit 100 plus on those 4-seamers. He's pitching well. He's pitching well. It's early. It's 1 game. But he's pitching well. Let's go now to the bottom of the 9th as the Rays bring up Morel, Aranda, and Junior Caminero. Not in that order, but that's who's coming up here. So we got a 1-2 to Morel. Pop up. McMahon's going to take care of that one. Here comes Junior Caminero. 0-2 pitch here. Kinley going to strike him out. Not a high fastball, but another fastball that he can't catch up to. 0-1 pitch here to Aranda. Deep fly ball to left field. Jones off his wrist. It could have been off his glove, but either way, the Rays get an extra base hit. And they are back in business here a little bit in this inning with a man in scoring position. And let's just see real quick here. Jones was looking left, he was looking right, and he couldn't find the ball. Is off his wrist. So now it's going to lead up Danny Jansen. 2-2 pitch here. Kinley, what's he got here? Slider. It's going to fall right in front of Jones. He's got to play at home plate. Here comes the throw from Jones. The strike to home to Stallings. And Stallings with the tag. He gets Aranda. And the Rockies will win this game in dramatic fashion. That one measly little run probably wouldn't have done anything. But it gave the Rays hope, and we took it away from them. We snatched it away from them. What a play by Nolan Jones. What a play by our defense in this game. We got Brenton Doyle with the home run rob. We got Nolan Jones with the dive. We got Nolan Jones out here with the outfield assist, cutting down a runner at home. Look at this. It wasn't even a one-hopper. Like, it was a seed right to Jacob Stallings. I mean, it's such a conundrum. It's the word of the day for you guys. Conundrum. You'll learn things here on the Gold Glover 9 channel. conundrum. It means I don't really know what to do. It's a situation, okay? It's a problem. What do we do with Nolan Jones? He's obviously shown that he doesn't have a ton of speed out there in left field to make plays. Plays in the gap. Got to dive for things, right? That might be unnecessary. But his arm can play out there. Maybe he's a right fielder more so than a left fielder. So we'll actually simulate a couple games here in this series. We do lose this series, unfortunately. Feltner, 5 innings, 3 earned, 2 walked, 1 strikeout. It's so-so. It's a so-so outing. Next up, we get the Phillies. We'll go ahead and simulate that one. We do not have our home opener until we play the Athletics here on the weekend. So we'll have to simulate some of these Philly games in order to get to our opening day. That's what this video is all about, is our opening day. But we do sim, and we get a critical situation here for Victor Vodnik. Rockies up 4-2 with Brandon Marsh at the dish. High and inside fastball. It seems like we've got the guns. We've got the velo in order to blow this by these guys. Blow by these opposing hitters. But another four-seam fastball, and Marsh was ready for it. That's a 3-run jack. Ouch. Just when you thought that you had a game plan. Just when you thought that it was looking real good. Hey, we just blew that fastball right by him. Let's just go right back up there again. It's like Marsh was thinking the exact same thing. I know what you're doing to me. I know how you're trying to try to attack me. And the rest is history. So Matt Strahm coming in to close this thing down. And with nobody down, Tovar is actually 3 for 4. Make him 4 for 5. Deep drive to right field, off the wall. Could have been a home run had it not been for that, just that little fencing at the very top of the wall. The little guardrail, if you will. Unbelievable. So next batter up is Tolia. He's going to swing on through the fastball from Strahm. And we got 1 down. Kyle Farmer going to take this pitch low and away. Very tough, very deceptive pitch by Strahm. And then Nolan Jones, line drive. Ground ball to Sosa. He's got the play at first, and the Phillies will win this game with late inning heroics. To think with that we had that game. 4-2, we had that game. And then Brandon Marsh comes up and says, no. Not today. Not today, Victor. Victor Vodnik. You will be a loser, Vodnik. Losers need to drink vodka. Nope, not going there. This is a children's channel. Jake Woodford got the start. He actually pitched well. 5 innings. Didn't give up very many runs. Only had 1 strikeout. I don't anticipate much from Jake Woodford. I just want to be clear. I think he's a solid pitcher. He could end up moving to the bullpen the better that we get with some of our prospects. Guys start getting their roles cut down on, so on and so forth. But he's solid. Not super old yet. He might be a depth piece moving forward. Now, we're down in AAA with Albuquerque. We've got Jose Quintana. Again, he was not on a spring training roster. He wasn't on a major league team. So he's just kind of sitting around all winter long, right, and in the spring. So we want to bring him in, kind of work him in slowly. He's down in AAA making a couple starts before he can get called up to the major leagues. So we're going to see him in player lock mode right here, because mostly I want you guys to get kind of familiar with this game. Like, is this going to be a dude that maybe he just doesn't cut it? Maybe he just gets released. That could be a possibility. We are paying him quite a bit of money as a number 2 starter behind Marquez. But hopefully we see something good here in gameplay action right now. He did give up a 1-out double. Gets a strikeout there at the knees. And you guys can see, just with classic pitching, you know, it's all depending on the pitcher's ratings of control, their accuracy, right, their stuff, their movement, right? So it's all dependent on the pitcher's ratings. And you guys can see, like, he's pretty accurate, right? Like, most of these dudes, like Marquez and other relief pitchers, like, normally when I'm setting up at a spot, they're kind of all over the place. But Quintana, with his control level, wherever I kind of want to throw it, he can bring it there. He can deliver it there. And you guys can see, again, all the ground balls that Quintana gets. I mean, even a high pitch, a high sinker, he gets a ground ball. So this is exactly the type of pitcher that I want within our organization. But we're battling the age thing with Quintana. He's a little old. I don't think that Quintana is going to be a guy for the future. This is a dude that he can help us in the now, try to win some games, and potentially be a trade bait candidate at the trade deadline. If he pitches really well, somebody might be like, oh yeah, we got Jose Quintana of old. right? It's going to get us through at least 3 innings here so far. So good. 2 2/3. We got a stolen base by David Calabrese. 2-2 pitch here to Kyron Paris, and he swings through a curveball. I mean, look at how he's doing, man. He shuts down a young guy like Kyron Paris, who's actually having a really good spring in real life, by the way, if you're following the Angels. We did the Angels last year. Kyron Paris was a solid player for us. He's hitting .381 with a over 1,000 OPS in spring so far in real life. Quintana gives up a solo home run here to J.D. Davis. Not the best guy to give up a home run to, but he does, and it's a 1-1 count here to Nico Cavadas. That's another ground ball. Another ground ball out. 1 down. Fly ball to Yanquiel Fernandez. He's got that one. 2 outs. Christian Moore, one of the Angels' top prospects. Base hit right through the shortstop hole. And Tucker Flint fouled out. Little pop-up there to third. Owen Miller's got that one, and that is the end of the 4th inning. So, yeah, Quintana, I thought, pitched well. Gave up a couple extra base hits, but, you know, who doesn't? Who doesn't, right? You can't be perfect. Kyron Paris, deep drive out to left field. Could have been a tie ball game. Kyron Paris, solid hitter. But Quintana's day is done. He gives us 5 really good innings. 5 innings, nobody walked, couple strikeouts. It's a very, very Jose Quintana-esque start. 5 hits given up to, 1 earned on the solo shot from J.D. Davis. Now take a look at Adiel Amador and Yanquiel Fernandez's performance here down in AAA. 2 for 4 for Amador, and Fernandez actually had a hit and an RBI, and a run scored too, so he had a solid, solid game. Looking forward to watching those guys as they continue to progress. All right, opening day for our Rockies at Coors Field. The draft is in 99 days. We will have some draft coverage here after our opening day action, guys. So stick with me here. It's a loaded episode. We're going to look at custom players. We're going to talk about some of the scouting moves that we want to make into this draft class. But first things first, we got to get through Coors Field opening day with Kyle Freeland on the mound. So far, 2 1/3 innings pitched for Kyle Freeland. He's already made 1 start this year, and it wasn't the greatest ever. Esteury Ruiz, leadoff batter for the Oakland A's, rounding out. He's got a lot of speed, does Ruiz, but McMahon's able to throw him out. Jacob Wilson, Brent Rooker will be your first 3 hitters after Ruiz. So we're going to have our work cut out for us here, especially with Brent Rooker in Coors Field. So far in the early going of the season, hitting 143, but he does have a home run. Again, you got to watch out for this guy. Here comes the slider to Rooker. Base hit right past, oh God, Nolan Jones. Base hit right past Tovar. Got a good read on it, but it was hit way too hard to even make a play on. Shea Langoliers going to take this one. It's now 3-1. Rooker going to take second base on the wild pitch. This isn't looking too hot. Langoliers, ground ball. Tolia is able to handle that one, and we're out of the first. And, you know, Freeland's, I don't know, man. I'm starting to feel like Freeland's going to have a bad year. It's just something in me right now is feeling like that's a big-time possibility. Especially with the first start and the stats that he's got, and then how that first inning went. I don't know. I'm not feeling it. Bretton Doyle strikes out looking. Ryan McMahon going to lace this right into the right center field gap. Should be a 1-out double. And it is. Jeffrey Springs got a little bit of a problem now because you got Tovar and Tolia coming up next. Tovar, ground ball here to third. Going to sling it over to first. Out number 2. So what about Michael Tolia? We've seen him in gameplay. He's hitting .238 currently. Has 2 home runs on opening day. What about opening day in Coors Field? Wouldn't it be great if he could hit a 2-run shot right here? Let's see. Another breaking ball. They love to throw him breaking pitches, but he's been doing such a great job against these left-handers. Right back up the middle. Tolia gets an RBI single. Rockies will take the lead here in the early going of the ball game. Hot shot, too. Got some exit velo on that thing. Chris Bryant, ground ball here to first. He's going to get the start here today. Had the decision between Farmer and Bryant. Ultimately decided Chris Bryant's going to need some gameplay here. And how do you pay a guy that much money to have him sit on opening day? You can't do it. He's a star, even with the 60-plus overall rating that he is. I think he's like a 62. Lawrence Butler responds with a solo shot. 3rd home run in the early going. He's like on pace for 30 plus at this point. Maybe 40 at the rate that he's going. So we do have 2 outs. Estrada, are you kidding me? In the outfield grass. Whoa. What a play by Thairo Estrada. I didn't know you had that range, sir. I wasn't familiar with your game. But Lawrence Butler does tie this thing up 1-1, and Nolan Jones with a line drive base hit back up the middle. So we've got the timing down on Jeffrey Springs, or so it seems. 1 out now here with Thairo Estrada. He comes up right back up the middle again, but a little too softly hit, as the second baseman was there to make the play. Here's Sam Hilliard, deep drive to left center, but left fielder will make the catch. Taking one quick look here at the Athletics offense, they don't hit for a lot of average, and they're not scoring a bunch of runs, but they do have 3 home runs and 9 ribbies. And guess what? We already know the stat there. Heading into this series, Lawrence Butler had 2 home runs. He just hit his 3rd in this one. Pretty much means that Lawrence Butler's got all the power right now. And Brent Rooker's got the other home run. So literally just 2 guys got all the power here for the A's. Freeland looks like he's working through the 3rd inning here pretty nicely. Going to get Jacob Wilson to ground out. Thairo Estrada, another play up the middle. So he's doing a really good job fielding this season. Saw some flashes in spring training too, so he looks pretty solid. I might want to keep him at the trade deadline. I might not want to move him. First walk allowed for Jeffrey Springs. Then he hits Tovar with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 3rd. That's going to send up Michael Toglia yet again, and that's a ground ball. Base hit right past the 3rd baseman. Here comes McMahon. He's going to score. They got a bobble in left field. Here comes Tovar rounding 3rd, headed for home. The slide. He's in safely. Toglia comes through with another couple of RBIs. And that little error, it's not going to go down as an error, but it cost him. The timing cost him. And in fact, I think he would have been out had he not dropped the ball. Langoliers had the ball popped out of his glove, and the Rockies will take a 3-1 lead here going into the top of the 4th. Brent Rooker, another really hard-hit baseball right back up the middle for a base hit. Here's Estrada. I don't think I should have dove for that. Honestly, I think he would have been able to make the play. It's kind of tough to read with this camera angle that I'm using. So runners on the corners. Lawrence Butler comes up. Another hard hit ball. I don't think maybe Toglia should have been diving for that one. So we've pretty much gifted the A's a run here. It's 3-2 with nobody out. That's a problem. Andujar comes up here in a 1-1 count. Line drive right past Toglia. Probably should have been caught. Still nobody out too. This is a problem, man. This is a problem. Against the A's? Are you kidding me? Who am I talking about? We're the Rockies. Who am I talking about? Ground ball to McMahon. Oh, no, it was a bad decision. We turned 2, but I think we probably should have gone home. Protect the lead at that point. You can go 4, go 1. And after looking at it right here, I mean, that was hit pretty hard. Like, you could have easily gone 4, go 1. Still gotten the double play. Protected the lead. But instead, it's tied. And now we got a walk. And we're trying to not throw the ball around here. What is happening in this inning? First walk allowed by Freeman. Another wild pitch. Pass ball, I guess, maybe. I think it's going to go down as a wild pitch. But Geloff, ground ball, hard hit, thankfully. I mean, if he had just a little bit more launch angle on that, that would have been over Estrada's head. So either way, man, Athletics bring out the hit parade in the 4th inning with 6 hits to tie this baby up. Let's go bottom 4th. First pitch, hacking is Thairo Estrada. He's going yard. All right, we'll take that. Estrada goes deep for a solo shot. Rockies will take the lead back. It seems like this game's going to be one of those games where it's back and forth, back and forth. I don't expect a lot of home runs from Thairo Estrada, but when we do get them, I want to make them count. So let's try to win this game, please. Let's win this ball game. Let's go top of the 6th. We're going to jump ahead of just a little bit. Just a couple innings here. Butler's going to K. That is the first strikeout for Kyle Freeland, and it was a good pitch. I mean, Butler seemed like he was right on it, too. But I don't think he could have pulled that baseball. It definitely would have been an opposite field approach. Maybe he pops it up. Either way, his timing looked pretty good. Estrada makes another nice play at second base, and Bud Black is going to come out here at 5 2/3 yet again. So those of you playing fantasy baseball that might have had Kyle Freeland on opening day or Herman Marquez on opening day, he just cost you a quality start with 3 earned given up here against the A's. We do get Gilbreth. He comes out and gets a strikeout. Top of the 7th, 3-2 pitch here. Gets another K on Ruiz. So 2 innings, not even, about an inning and 2/3 for Gilbreth. He gets us through to the 8th inning as Justin Lawrence comes on to face Brent Rooker. 1-1 pitch, ground ball to the left side of the infield. McMahon is there, makes the play at first. Next batter, Shea Langoliers. Got some power in these last 2 hitters, but he's got them. He's got them. Especially in a 1-run game, I got to trust my pitchers. I got to trust my arms, and Lawrence has earned my trust. So bottom of the 9th, Tyler Kinley comes on. Gets the first out. Gets Lawrence Butler. That is a huge bat to get. Miguel Andujar striking him out on the circle change. Wasn't expecting that, I don't think. You can either rule out fastball or slider with Kinley, but he throws you a changeup. That's tough. That's tough business. But Soderstrom's going to get on with a single, a 2-out single. So the A's still have some life here, and a wild pitch again on a 0-2 count. Goodman can't handle it. It's going to allow Soderstrom to get to second base. Then he's going to get to third base as the slider doesn't fly in Goodman's glove. So Kinley's got a problem now. The game-tying run is 90 feet closer. I mean, in this outing, he's been very efficient. 13 total pitches, 10 strikes. 2 of those 3 balls were wild pitches, and he's going to get the job done. Max Schumann pops it up in the foul ground. Tolley is there. Rockies win. Got another W here on opening day. Opening day against the Rays. We stole one from them. Opening day in front of our hometown faithful. We get a W. Very nicely done, Rockies. Very nicely done. Although we are still under 500 at this point. So whether you cheer for those successes, those little minor wins, I don't know. But I'm going to. All right. We have not yet discussed scouting because it hasn't become available. But now it is, as we've continued to sim on in our franchise series. There's a look at our scouts and kind of how I've set this up. We're looking at pitchers. We're going to invest heavily into our pitching. We still need a little bit more youth at catcher, and I want to look at shortstops, maybe some second basemen in this draft class, maybe potentially third baseman as we move a little further along. Because, in fact, the first overall pick, or the projected pick, Andrew Landis, is a third baseman. So maybe potentially this guy falls. He could fall. We have the number 4 pick in the draft. But a lot of these guys here are starting pitchers. So we're going to heavily invest in our time into looking at these starting pitchers because we need it. We need it. Our pitching is very, very barren. The cupboards are barren, guys. We need to reinvest in that and get a little bit more depth, a little bit more youth, a little bit more of a pulse in that room. And I think some of these guys are going to be able to do that. So I'm kind of just scrolling through right now, just trying to get a feel for the class. I haven't really spent a lot of time on this. We've got like this center fielder, Bo Giordano, this right fielder, Ray Kerr. He must rake. He's raker. He's a raker. You look at Bo Giordano there with the speed, the defense. I get a little worried about those types of players because when you draft those guys, high contact, speed and defense guys, they never really pan out to be anything. They don't have a lot of high potential. So I'm a little worried there about Bo Giordano. Got a couple really nice pitchers, though, honestly. I'm looking at like Juan Nava, looking at that Jermaine McClanahan guy. Harold Singer might be a dude, potentially. Like, you're going to have to knock my socks off as a positional player like this Kyle Griffin. I'm going to need those offensive numbers to be really projected to be elite status if I'm going to take you at number 4. Because otherwise I'm going to go kind of the safe route and go pitching because, again, that's just the position that I'm targeting that is an absolute must-have. It's a definite need for us. Like this guy, Monty Vargas, got a 4-pitch mix. I like guys with more than just 3 pitches. Juan Nava, I don't know, man. I don't know if you're going to cut it as a starter with only 3 pitches. Same thing here with Luke Dennis. Slider, 4-seam, and a change. McClellan's actually got 5 pitches, so I'm kind of preferring him at this point. But ultimately, it's going to come down to the scouting. Like, which guy's going to impress me the most? That's what's going to matter. Because if I'm wrong, if you can actually work with 3 pitches, who am I to say that you're not going to be able to get it done? Martin Polanco might be a guy too. 6'3", 18 years old. 65 to 99 potential. Could be a D, could be an A. Could be one of the best players in the draft. Same thing with Sammy Moreno, 65 to 99. 18 years old, by the way. Draft rank is 13th for the MLB rank and for our rank. So I think we just need to do a little bit more scouting to really see, kind of get a better feel for all these guys. So how we're going to structure this strategy, I'm going to look at all pitchers first. We're going to look at the East, we're going to look at the West and International. And then from there, we're going to spend a lot of weeks on pitching so that positional group really gets scouted hard. And then we're going to go from there, whether we want to start looking at positional players, want to start looking at specific groups like a shortstop, maybe specific players. But that's kind of my strategy going into this season's draft class and how we're going to do our scouting. We're going to look at pitching and go hard and heavy at pitching. We're going to look at the group itself. And then once we start getting a better feel for those guys, then we'll start to individually scout them. You can go hard and heavy at individual players, but guys, you only get 14 weeks. So theoretically, one scout can only scout 14 players fully. It's kind of a risk. It's kind of a risk if you want to go that way. You know more about the player, but you're almost risking the pool, knowing anything about the pool. So I think for our Rockies, we need as many talented arms that we can possibly get in here. So that's kind of my strategy. I want to go full and hard at the group and then go individual once we start to learn a little bit more. So guys, next episode, we're going to be doing a lot of simulation. So it might be a little bit of a boring episode, but we're going to get some critical situations mixed in there. We're going to do a lot of stats updates through our sim. But for the most part, it's going to be kind of a scouting episode because I want to prepare you for the draft as one solid episode. So we'll sign draft picks, we'll do the draft in a single episode. So in 2 episodes' time, we'll have completed the draft, we'll get to the trade deadline, make some moves there too, and then that'll prepare for the second half of the regular season and see just if our new trade acquisitions will actually be able to do anything, or maybe some potential call-ups might be able to do something. So fun episodes here in the next few, but hang with me, guys, because we're going to be starting to make some moves and move a little faster through this franchise series once we start getting a little bit better and things are on the up and up. So guys, leave a like if you like this thing. I'll see you in the next one. Let me know in the comment section as well what players through the very brief scouting cards that I showed you are kind of catching your eye. What players do you think we need to scout a little bit further? Let me know in the comment section. I'll catch you in the next one. As always, thank you so much for watching, and peace.